Oh, it did it to me again. It keeps doing it to me. Why did that happen? Atma Namaste, guys. Christian Arlong, life enhancement consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Sunday morning, or depending upon when you're watching it, could be a different day or a different time. But I hope you like the big fat bagel right above my head. It's cool, right? Carlin, what's up, girl? Atma Namaste. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We'll have an amazing topic for each and every one of you today to cover that will hopefully transform your life from the inside out. For those of you joining for the first time, we do these streams each and every Sunday, right around 10 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time, and we talk about Adriana, Atma Namaste, we talk about three topics: energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality. Energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality. Loretta, Atma Namaste, how are you? And I thought, what are we going to talk about for today, right? There's always got to be Gili, Atma Namaste, my old New York City server buddy. How are you, dear? You're married and have a kid now, right? Or kids? All the way from Israel. Deepa, Atma Namaste, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I have to share this with you guys because I know it'll deeply and profoundly transform you moving forward. So, have you ever had a moment in your life when you're getting in your car or you're getting in some kind of mode of transportation and you're going from point A to point B, maybe from your house to work or from work to your house or from your house to a friend's house that you visit on a regular basis. And as you're driving, you get in the car, you go to your destination. Manisha, Atma Namaste. Kelly, Atma Namaste. How are you? And you get to your destination and you do not remember any part of that trip. Nothing. All you remember is getting in your car and then arriving to your destination, but you forget everything in between. Has that ever happened to you in your life? That would be an example of operating from the subconscious mind versus operating from the conscious mind. And this is a huge distinction because when you operate from your conscious mind, you are empowered. You're able to make the right decisions. You're able to move your life forward properly and rapidly. But if you're operating from your subconscious mind, you're operating from a program that you don't have full control over. Alex, Atma Namaste. Kelly, good to see you. Atma Namaste. That insight alone can transform your life. So, when you were incarnated into a physical body, your five senses, the sense of touch, the sense of sight, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, and the sense of hearing, are taking in every conceivable aspect of your life, from the moment you were conceived to right now in this very moment. So all the branding, all the marketing, all the TV shows, all the billboards, the posters, the books that you've read, the seminars that you've gone to, the pictures that you see, the words that you hear, everything is imprinted and recorded in your subconscious mind, whether you're aware of it or not. That's why it's called the subconscious mind. And that will influence you each and every moment of your life if you're not conscious of what's going on. Now, if you had the choice, would you like to consciously guide your life, or would you like other people to subconsciously guide and influence your life? Right? We would prefer to be consciously in charge of our lives, but when we're asleep, we're in our subconscious. When we are not paying attention, we're in our subconscious. When we're laughing hysterically, we're in our subconscious. When we're depressed, we're in our subconscious. Whenever we're not fully present and fully awake, we're in our subconscious. One of the big reasons as to why I love teaching so much and why I love doing public speaking so much is it forces me, David, Atma Namaste, it forces me, one of my new Facebook buddies, it forces me to be present. Namarata, Atma Namaste, it forces me to be present. Right, so when I'm talking to you guys, my mind isn't in 35 different places. It's right here in this present moment of, okay, what's going to help them move their lives forward? What can we talk about? How can we make this entertaining? How can we make it engaging? How can we make it empowering, right? Salvador, Atma Namaste. So that's why I like public speaking so much, is it forces me to be present here, right now, in this very moment, not somewhere else. So whenever you're somewhere else in your life, you're being run by a program rather than being run by your conscious mind. Now, have you ever seen that famous picture that talks about the subconscious mind? It's an iceberg, and you have above the water is a little tiny bit of the iceberg, and then below the water is this massive structure. That's what it's like for the subconscious mind, which is under the water, and then the little bitty top of the conscious mind. So our job as spiritual practitioners is to spend as much time in our conscious mind that we possibly can, instead of being in our subconscious mind. You're like, well, what's the big deal with being in your subconscious mind? It sounds great. If I can get in my car, not be aware of any driving, and then I can just go to my friend's house. Well, in that specific case, that might work. But in general, our programs, in most cases, are designed to protect previous trauma, abuse, hurt, pains, right? That's when all these programs start getting developed. Those programs guide us and lead us to safety. So these programs were initially created to keep our ego and our personalities safe. So I'll give you an example. Let's say, as a kid, you're growing up and your mom wants to keep you safe and protected. And so what does she say to you when it comes to interacting with other people? As a child, she says, strangers are dangerous, right? Stranger danger? Strangers are dangerous. So that program was instilled in your mind, your subconscious mind, as a young child, which kept you safe, because you don't want to be hanging out with strange people as a young child, because you could be abducted, you could be kidnapped, you could be molested, taken advantage of in all kinds of ways, right? So that was a way to keep you safe and healthy. Now, if you take that program of strangers are dangerous as an adult, how do you think that shrinks your life experience? Tremendously, right? Because if you want to grow your net worth, if you want to grow your network, if you want to grow your skills, knowledge, experience in life, are you going to have to interact with other people? Absolutely. But if you have the program that strangers are dangerous, it's going to be very difficult for you to go out and to mix it up with other people. Hey, Smita, Atma Namaste. To mix it up with other people and to have shared experiences. Hey, Jessica, Atma Namaste. Does that make sense? Very, very important to be aware of that. What's another program? I'll give you a program that I learned early on from my father. My father would say, money doesn't grow on trees. Money doesn't grow on trees. And what is the implication of money doesn't grow on trees? That it's not in abundance. That it's not as plentiful of the leaves that are on the trees. So what does that infer? That earning money is difficult, that earning money is hard, that earning money is a struggle each and every day. So that program got inserted and implanted in my subconscious as a child, and then I've acted out that program as a teenager, 20-something, 30-something-year-old person until I removed that program, right? I had to disintegrate it and remove it from myself. So Adriana says, not being aware of the road also happens to me when I'm very tired. What's up, Amanda? Yes, that's another time that we go from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind, is when we are tired, right? So if you have some kind of addiction in your life, this will help you understand the subconscious and conscious as well. For those of us who have addictions, and it could be any kind of addiction, it could be a cigarette addiction, it could be a food addiction, it could be a sexual addiction, it could be a drug addiction, it could be an alcohol addiction, it could be a shopping addiction. Have you noticed, if you have one of those conditions, have you noticed that when you are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, you tend to act out your addiction or you tend to be more vulnerable to the influence of your addiction at those times. Yes, right? And that term in the 12-step program world is called HALT, H-A-L-T, HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. So as an addict, you're encouraged to always be well-fed, to keep your emotions calm, to surround yourself with supportive people, and to keep your body rested so you prevent yourself from going into the subconscious mind and operating from a program. Does that make sense? So a few months ago, one of the master pranic healers offered an online course called Healing the Subconscious Mind. And I can't emphasize enough on how powerful that experience was, because we all have blind spots. We all have programs that are running in the background of our lives that we got conditioned as a child, or we got conditioned at a vulnerable space in our lives that have influenced our thoughts, our words, our feelings, and our actions since that time. And if it's a program that's not empowering, if it's a program that's not designed to move you forward, then it needs to be disintegrated, removed, and extracted out of your system. What's another program? I'm going to ask you guys, what are some programs that you personally or you think might be running in the background of your life? What are some programs that you think you might be running in the background of your life? Because as my teacher, Grandmaster Choa Koksui says, the modern founder of pranic healing and Hatha yoga, without awareness, hey Megan, Abba Namaste, without awareness, there's no inner transformation. Without awareness, there's no inner transformation. How do you get awareness? By sitting down and becoming aware of your thoughts, your words, your feelings, and your actions. And that takes time, and it takes spiritual effort, mental effort, emotional effort, and physical effort to actually be aware of these things. But if you are not aware of your programs, they are going to imprison you for the rest of your life. And we have programs around money. We have programs around health. We have programs around food. We have programs around relationships and intimacy and sex. We have programs around spirituality. Let's say you were brought up in a fundamentalist household, a fundamentalist religious household, where the program was, if you don't believe this certain faith, if you don't believe this sect of principles, you're going to hell. Do you think that's a very powerful program? Yes. The church has used that program to control people for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So that program influences what people think, say, feel, and do in their lives. If you remove that program, that you can make mistakes and not go to hell, right? You can live a more empowered life. You can live a more present life. Oh, Abba Namaste. Shannon, Abba Namaste. Long time. Hope you're doing well. So, do you guys have any questions, comments, challenges, concerns about what we covered today in the subconscious mind versus the conscious mind? The conscious mind is when you're aware of what's going on, and there are many levels of awareness. And the subconscious mind is when you are completely and utterly oblivious to what's going on, which can be very, very dangerous. Kevin, Abba Namaste, long time. My millionaire mastermind homeboy from Denver. Arlen, Abba Namaste, fellow Arhatic yogi. How are you, dear? Hope you're doing well. But I cannot overemphasize the importance of spending most, if not all of your time, we're not there yet, all of your time in the conscious mind versus operating from subconscious programming. Brother, indeed. Amanda says, what to do if you have a program running and are aware of it but have no control over it? Excellent question. Rashmi, Abba Namaste, good to have you back on as always. So, Amanda's asking the question, if you have a program running, you're aware of the program, what do you do after that? Excellent question. So in pranic healing, we have the 5 levels of awareness. The 5 levels of awareness. which you might even want to write these down because they're that important, and it could be one of the most important things you ever write down in your life. So the first level of awareness is no awareness, meaning you do something stupid and you're completely and utterly oblivious to it. You say a hurtful thing, you do a hurtful action, and you're completely oblivious. You have no awareness. The next level of awareness is you do something, and then you realize after you've done it, you're like, ooh, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that, right? There's a level of guilt, there's a level of shame, there's a level of regret, there's a level of remorse, and all of those things are good to a certain level. You don't want to make them excessive because it helps you learn. The next level, or third level, or second level of awareness, you can say third level of awareness, is as you are doing it, you're going, why am I doing this? Have you ever had that moment in your life when you're saying something hurtful to another person, and as you're saying that hurtful thing or doing that hurtful thing to another person, there's a part of you that's going, don't do it. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? That's your higher soul sending you a message of, don't do that. It's not going to be good. The fruits of your seed are going to be bad. But that's a better level of awareness than no awareness. The fourth level of awareness is right before you're about to think something or say something or do something, right before you're about to do it, you don't. Because you have the awareness that, I've been here before. If I say that to this person, it's going to hurt them. If I do this to that person, it's going to hurt them. That's the fourth level of awareness. And then the fifth level of awareness is that you never even have it come into your consciousness. And I know that sounds a little bizarre. I know that sounds a little out there, maybe a little too woo-woo for some of you. Probably not you guys, because you like to attend these streams on a regular basis. But that's the highest level of awareness, meaning the fourth level of awareness is I'm going to say something that is hurtful to that person, and it's going to make them feel small. It's going to make their energy weak. It's going to make my energy small and weak. So I'm not going to say that. The fifth level of that would be you have no thought at all of causing injury to that person, meaning your thoughts are only those of loving kindness and non-injury. That's the highest level of awareness. So back to Amanda's question is, if you're aware that you're about to do something, you have to have greater awareness on, which goes back to being conscious. You have to have greater awareness of, well, wait a minute, I'm in my program right now. How did I get here? Because nothing just happens automatically. There's always a part of, it goes from a little tiny piece of snow, turns into a snowball, and then turns into an avalanche. Most people are aware of the avalanche. They're not aware of the little tiny snowball that started this whole process. That's when it goes back to developing inner awareness of like, okay, the fruit in my life right now, in my relationships, is this, this, and this. I don't like this fruit. Well, what's the seed? So if I'm constantly arguing with my partner, then that must mean there's a lot of anger. Okay, so the seed is anger. Well, what is it that I'm ultimately angry about? Well, there was this time when I was 4 years old that my parents said I will never amount to anything successful. And that made me very mad, that made me very angry, that made me very hurt. Okay. Well, what can I do to resolve that? I can forgive my parents. And by forgiving my parents, it breaks the bond, it breaks the negative connection that you have to the other person, to the situation. You have greater awareness, greater compassion, greater understanding, and you're able to move your life forward. Versus operating from a program of anger, operating from a program of jealousy, operating from a program of fear, anxiety, addiction. Does this make sense? Daniel, Atma Namaste. Anthony, Atma Namaste. Skeet, Atma Namaste. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the 5 levels of awareness, once mastered, will transform your life in ways that you cannot even comprehend. And to plant a seed with you guys that I speak with some of my clients about, Grandmaster Choa Koksui says, if you practice inner reflection and firm resolution, which deals with awareness, if you practice it every day for 15 minutes, your progress in life will be guaranteed. If you practice it every day for 15 minutes for 2 to 3 years, your progress in life will be guaranteed. And he says, if somebody practices inner reflection and firm resolution, which is taught in pranic healing psychotherapy in our Hatha Yoga, 2 classes, if you practice that every day for 15 minutes for 2 to 3 months, people will not be able to recognize you. People will not be able to recognize you. So Adriana says, how about regression to find out why you don't do some things? Can you let go easier? Good question. Rashmi says, this varies with situation. For me, at times, we're at level 1, 2, 3, 4 of awareness. It's not always awareness for me. Yes. Correct. So some people might have awareness in their relationships. They might have a lot of awareness in their relationships, but then people have almost no awareness in their physical fitness and physical health. Give you an example connected to that. Have you ever seen those documentaries of the people that are 300, 400, 500, 600 pounds and they cannot even leave their house? They can't even fit through the door of their house because their physical bodies are so fat and so out of shape. Have you ever seen those people? That's an example of someone who has zero awareness of what their food intake is doing to their body and what their lack of physical activity is doing to their body. Make sense? And then to get back to Adriana, she said, how about regression to find out why you do the things that you do? Okay, regression would just simply be another way of awareness, another way of saying awareness. Because what brings you from, what makes something subconscious simply means the person has not developed enough awareness to make it conscious. So everything that's in our subconscious mind is called subconscious because we have not developed enough awareness through the conscious mind. But the great teachers, the enlightened ones, they know their past lives. Do you know why they know their past lives? Because they have awareness. If you want to know what your past lives were, if you want to know what 5 lifetimes ago you were, 1,000 lifetimes ago, if you want to know what your purpose is on this planet, why you physically incarnated into a body, is because you will know that by developing awareness. The reason people don't know why they're here, the reason people have so much challenges with life purpose things is because they lack awareness. And awareness is not just the mind or the brain, it's every aspect of you. For instance, what is your right toe doing right now? What is your right toe doing right now? You didn't know before I asked you, right? Now you do, because why? Because you have awareness of your right toe. Now multiply that to every cell of your body, multiply that to every emotion that you have, multiply that to every thought that's going through your conscious mind, and that's a high degree of awareness. Those are the great teachers that we hope to emulate and model. Hey Chris, Abba Namaste, good to have you on. Hopefully you're getting some value from today's live stream. If you missed it, you can watch the recording when we're done for today. But what other questions, comments, challenges do you guys have? If you keep asking questions, I'll do my best to keep answering them, or at least asking you questions to help lead you to the right answers. And one of the girls, our favorite girl, Ashley, was saying, hey, next time you do the live streams, I want to see you do some eating. So all about satisfying people's desires on these streams. This is amazing, by the way. This is an apple cinnamon toasted bagel with almond honey spread. Phenomenal. Adrian says that's a lot of awareness. Yvonne, where you been, girl? I haven't seen you for a hot minute. Always good to have you on whenever you're able to make it. So, that being said, for any one of you who are looking for healing, especially healing of the subconscious mind and healing of the old programs that are running in the background of your life and controlling you, if you're looking for healing, definitely go to christianarlong.com/services, and we can do lots and lots of healing. We can do healing on the subconscious mind, we can do healing on the aura, the chakras, we do coaching. Every one of my sessions, My healing sessions is 30 minutes of coaching, so you have awareness on a certain topic that you're interested in, and then 30 minutes of healing. So we get the awareness, oh, I have issues around trust. Oh, I have anger issues. I have depression. I have sadness. We get awareness around where you're stuck, and then we do healing specifically connected to that. This is all done online. It's all distant. You don't have to come to my home office in Denver, Colorado. If you are in Denver, Colorado, you're more than welcome to stop by and come in for a healing. If not, most of my clients do everything online. So you go to christianrlong.com/services and book your healing. Hey, Zach, long time, man. It's good to have you on as always. Rashmi says, what is the best way to increase awareness? Oh, Yvonne's not on Facebook a lot, but off this weekend, so okay. Been so busy with work and trying to get study read books for our hot deck prep and working out. Oh, and working out. Okay. Zach's ready for healing. All right, Zach, you know what to do, man. Go to christianrlong.com/services. Schedule a 30-minute consultation with me. We'll talk about what you need healing on, and then we'll book a healing session from that, because I always want to talk to people first before we ever do any kind of session. So just go to christianrlong.com/services. So Rashmi said, what is the best way to increase awareness? Well, what's easier to be aware of? The physical body or your thoughts? Your physical body or your thoughts? Your physical body, right? It's easier to be aware of what your hand is doing than what you're actually thinking. So my recommendation would be start with being aware of your physical body. Be aware of your posture. Is one shoulder higher than the other shoulder? Is your neck turned to this side, or is it turned to this side, or is it straight? Is your mouth open? Is your mouth closed? Is your jaw relaxed? Is your jaw tight? Is your scalp tight? Is the back of your head tight? Be aware of your physical body. Now, this is taught in greater detail in Grandmaster Chola Koksui's class, our Hatha Yoga, which before you can take our Hatha Yoga, you need to take level 1 pranic healing, level 2 pranic healing, level 3 pranic healing. Then you can take our Hatha Yoga. So it's an investment of time, it's an investment of money, it's a dedication. But there's a meditation in our Hatha Yoga, which I'm not authorized to teach you guys to go over, that will help you in developing awareness. But to quickly answer Rashmi's question, being aware of your physical body is a great place to start. Where is my left hand versus where is my right hand? Like when I'm moving my hand and I'm talking to you guys, I'm not unconscious. I'm not like, oh, my hands are out of control and they're just doing their own thing, right? I'm consciously moving my hands in the way that I want them to move. Does that make sense? Okay. Yvonne, you're so sweet. You got it, man. I need patience. Really something to help my energy be clean. Patience. So Zach is mentioning he needs help with patience. How many of us need help with patience? You want to know something interesting? So patience is in the heart chakra. Patience is in the heart chakra. Impatience is in the solar plexus. So have you ever been caught in traffic and you have to be somewhere and you're going to be 20 minutes late? What are you in that moment? Are you stressed out? Yes. Are you irritated? Yes. Are you probably beating yourself up and the other people on the road, verbally and mentally? Yes. You're in a moment of impatience. That's in the solar plexus. But when you love somebody, like your children, or a close, intimate partner, when you love somebody and they make a mistake, you let it go. When you're waiting for them to get something done, you don't push them, you let it go, right? So that means you have a lot of love for them. And when you have a lot of love for somebody, you have a lot of patience for somebody. Julie says, we'll catch the replay in its entirety. Atma Namaste, Christian. You're welcome, Julie. Zach says, would be acceptable to email you later. I will pay you to help me with a few things. Yeah, email me. Zach, just email me. I'll send you my scheduler. You can schedule that way. Or you can just email me at christianrlong@gmail. It's my name, christianrlong@gmail, and tell me whatever you want to tell me in that email. All of it is confidential. You guys realize that. Many of you don't even know who my clients are. I'm that confidential, unless they outright say, hey, I'm a client of Christian's. But I respect people's anonymity. You're very, very welcome. Yvonne says, I love practicing being aware. It takes a lot to break old habits and to be more aware. It has been a trial and error for me. Writing gratitude helps with. Meditation, twin harps helps too. Getting quiet and also things we learned in prep help a lot. Our Hatha Yoga is life-changing and it is soul-changing without any exception. And one of the masters of pranic healing said to me many, many years ago, she goes, there's a difference, and this is to each and every one of you, whether you're a pranic healer or not, or an Arhatic yogi or not. She says, there is a difference between an Arhatic yoga graduate and an Arhatic yoga practitioner. What did she mean by that? Just because you take a class doesn't mean you derive the benefits of that class. Just because you read a book doesn't mean you derive the benefit of just reading the book. Just because you listen to a seminar, a workshop, a TED Talk, doesn't mean you derive the benefits of what that person or persons were talking about. So I encourage each and every person who reads a book, attends a seminar, goes on a spiritual retreat, attends a healing class, practice what you learned, and you will receive tremendous benefits from it. But just saying, I'm an Arhatic yogi, doesn't make you an Arhat. And as one of the other master pranic healers once said, you don't become a saint by accident. Does that make sense? You don't become a saint by accident. You don't fall into sainthood. Becoming a saint is a very systematic process of character development, of purification, of service, of tithing, right? You don't become a saint by accident. Not that I'm a saint. Everyone relax. Wait a minute, is Christian saying he's a saint? Not by a long shot. If you look at the lives of saints, and what saints did, and then you look at your own life, you will realize there's a very big gap. There's a gigantic gap between you and a saint. But check this out. And one of my favorite books of all time by Grandmaster Choa Kokusui is called The Origins of Modern Pranic Healing and Arhatic Yoga. The Origins of Modern Pranic Healing and Arhatic Yoga. In that book, Master Choa says, but the difference between an Arhat, which is a saint, an Arhat and a saint, and a holy master is like the difference between a child and an adult. Think about that for a second. We are little tiny babies compared to saints, and saints are children compared to holy masters. Blows my mind. That degree of development, that degree of connectivity. It's unfathomable. Yvonne says, yes, put it into practice. Exactly. Any other questions for you guys? I know there's a big fat bagel right above my head. I know it looks amazing. I'm here at my favorite Einstein Brothers Bagels joint. I know they're all over the United States. If you're listening to this outside of the United States, you might not be aware of it. Awareness, right? But that's pretty much our talk for today. Disintegrating, removing, becoming aware of programs in the subconscious mind, disintegrating and removing them through pranic healing methods and protocols, and then moving your life from being more conscious and less unconscious. That's it. I know it sounds easier said than done, but in essence, that's the takeaway for today. So Yvonne says, can we play something at night on loop to help? It's actually a very, very good point. So, one of the most susceptible times to programming is when we have the least amount of resistance. So a great time to heal people in pranic healing, is when they're asleep. Why? Because there's no resistance. There's no mental resistance, there's no emotional resistance, and there's no physical resistance. So when you heal people when they're asleep, they just absorb the energy and they're not fighting. But if somebody comes in for a healing and they have a lot of doubt, uncertainty, they don't trust the healer, they don't like the healer, all of these things, it makes it more difficult for the person to receive healing. So, if you find certain empowering phrases You can record those phrases with your own voice on your phone, and then you can play them for 5 or 10 minutes right before you go to bed when you're in a more receptive mode. And then you are programming your subconscious mind. Because the cool thing about the subconscious mind is it has no resistance. It's the conscious mind that creates the resistance. So the more receptive you can be, almost like in a hypnotic state, the more easy it is for you to be, for you to have the impressions register on your subconscious mind, which will improve the quality of your life consciously. You're welcome, Julie. I've heard your subconscious is listening and aware at night. Correct. Your subconscious never, ever, ever turns off. I'll say this again. Your subconscious mind never, ever, ever turns off. Every single syllable that came out of my mouth today, each and every one of you have recorded in your subconscious mind. This picture on the wall and all the details about this picture has been recorded in your subconscious mind. There are people in the world, I forget what they're called. I'm not talking about savants, because a savant is someone who has a very specialized skill set, but every other area of their life is very underdeveloped or underactivated. I'm not talking about a savant, but there are people who literally can remember everything that had ever happened to them. Even casually, they can remember paragraphs of newspapers that they casually glanced at 25 years ago. Because all of that information is recorded in the subconscious mind. So think about this. If you grew up in a household full of poverty thoughts, poverty words, and poverty actions, all of that's imprinted and programmed into the subconscious mind. Yes? If you grew up in a household full of anger, sadness, depression, fear, addiction, all of that is programming the subconscious mind, and then when you get stressed out, you react from the subconscious mind, those programs. Self-sabotage would be a perfect example of that. So Adriana, Hatha Yoga helped me with the body awareness because I had none. Perfect. Adriana, excellent point. Hatha Yoga does help develop bodily awareness to a very high degree. Yvonne says, I missed it. What did you say you can play? Kids yelling and playing. So you take a recording, take your phone and record 20 different empowering statements. I'm loving, I am beautiful, I am joyful, I am grateful, whatever it is. Anything that you feel empowers you. And then right before you go to bed, listen to that loop for 10 minutes. And that will reprogram your subconscious mind. And then Adriana says, yes, but if you have programs who say the opposite for a long time, yes. Correct, not good, but awareness helps. You can work on changing it. Yes, love that. Okay, so Adriana says, yes, if you have programs who say the opposite for a long time. Correct. There's a class that Grandmaster Chola Koksui developed many, many years ago called Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti, which is how to use energy principles to get what you need, want, and desire in life. And in that course, you're taught very systematically how to create extremely powerful thoughts. How to create extremely powerful thoughts. Because think about it. If you had, like this goes back to realism. If you have 25 years of negative programming from your parents, from your family, from your environment that you're no good, you're a bad person, you're stupid, whatever, and you go to an energy healer and you say, or a hypnotist, or someone that specializes in these esoteric arts, and you have the expectation of one healing is going to remove 25 years of programming, not realistic. It takes time. It takes time. But think about it. What if in 1 year of healing, or 1 year of therapy, or 1 year of hypnosis, that took away 25 years of negative programming? Would it be worth it? Obviously it would be, because it's already been influencing your life for 25 years, and it's been holding you back for 25 years. The healing will remove those blockages, remove those handcuffs, and allow you to move forward. See, Arlene has taken Kriya Shakti, and she knows it's an amazing course, because it is. Anything else, you beautiful souls? We went over today, which I like. I like giving you guys extra value. Because by you asking questions, it allows me to do my dharma and my purpose of helping other people move their lives forward through energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality. So I am grateful for you. You'll love it. It's a great course, Yvonne. Very powerful. You'll all the things that you've probably read about in success books and success seminars and success audio programs, it always has a little bit. The Kriya Shakti course pulls it all together. Of what does it take to materialize something? And that's what Master Choa was a master at. He was a multi-millionaire, and he was a great spiritual teacher. So he had the upper chakras very developed, and he had the lower chakras very developed. Kriya Shakti. With Adriana taking Kriya Shakti, the world is her oyster. Yvonne says, I believe 2020 is when it's coming to Florida. Unless I travel somewhere before then, I am most excited about that and body sculpting. Ah, yes. Body sculpting. Yeah, I remember learning body sculpting with Master Glenn on the East Coast in 2005. I took body sculpting and pranic facelift with Master Glenn in 2005 for the first time, and I've reviewed the class 3 times over the past 14 years. So that's it. It's a great class. They're great classes. There's over 20 classes you can take in pranic healing, so it's a very rich, in-depth, spiritual, esoteric mystery school. So I'm going to finish my bagel and my coffee. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you for your time. Again, if you're in need of healing and you want to find out how pranic healing or Hatha Yoga can transform your life, go to christianarlong.com. It's my website, christianarlong.com/services, and I look forward to serving you in the very, very near future. Have an amazing Sunday, amazing week, and amazing life. This is Christian Arlong, Life Enhancement Consultant. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye. Have a great day, guys. Love you guys. Great teaching as always. You're welcome, Kevin. All credit to Grandmaster Choa. Bye-bye.